Just 1 year after the fragile peace accord, tensions simmered in the Nku kingdom. The hunger of these African vampires for human melanin, once thought quelled, began to stir again. The whispers of dissent became louder, carried on the lips of Ako, a fierce and impassioned young leader. Her heart beat with the fervor of rebellion, her resolve hardened by the scent of human melanin in the air, an aroma that awakened a primal craving within her. Ako had been near when the students were detained, and the smell of their melanin was intoxicating. It drove her and her followers to madness. Their plan was reckless, born from desperation, to breach the great Nku wall and ascend to the surface. They aimed to overrun the guards and unleash themselves upon the unsuspecting world above, where they would hunt with unbridled hunger. The plan failed, or so it seemed. But unbeknownst to the council, Ako and 2 of her most loyal comrades had made it through. The Great Council of the Nku, an assembly of the most revered elders, convened in haste. Their deliberations were grave, for this was the closest they had been to war in 40,000 years. Just one Nku could decimate hundreds of humans. The thought of 3 rogue Nku on the loose filled them with dread. The decision was swift. 5 elite Nku trackers were dispatched to capture Ako and her followers, dead or alive. Meanwhile, on the surface, human scientists toiled tirelessly, trying to perfect a synthetic melanin that could satiate the Nku without sacrificing lives. Yet, their efforts were in vain. In a secret meeting with US government officials, the tension was palpable. One senator, with a cold and calculating demeanor, suggested the unthinkable. Give the Nku the real thing. King Cobra, a legend within the CIA, could barely contain his fury. He slammed his fist on the table, eyes blazing. You don't have melanin, Senator, he spat. Your kids don't have melanin. Where the hell do you think you'll get it from? The senator, unfazed, leaned back and delivered his retort. If the Nku, with all their advanced technology, can't create it, what makes you think we can? They'll return, and when they do, they'll kill us all. It's either we give them what they want, or we design a bioweapon to end this once and for all. The room erupted in chaos, with officials restraining King Cobra and the senator, who were seconds away from trading blows. Meanwhile, in the quiet town of Red Rock, Tennessee, the peace was shattered by reports of missing persons. Sheriff Longhorn, a God-fearing man who believed in shooting first and asking questions later, was on the case. He drove down a desolate road to interview the wife of one of the missing. Longhorn became distracted as he drove, quoting scripture to calm his nerves. He suddenly stopped his car. Something heavy landed on the roof with a resounding crash, followed by the sound of deliberate heavy footsteps pacing above them. Before they could react, Ako leaped onto the hood, her eyes glowing a chilling blue. With a feral scream, she punched through the windshield, ripping it out effortlessly. Grabbing Sheriff Longhorn by the throat, she yanked him out of the car. His gun fired, the bullet striking her shoulder. She didn't flinch. "Let us feast," she hissed, her voice dripping with ancient malice. "This is for General Tarku." The Nku Council, now aware of the breach, knew that time was running out. They decided to handle the situation quietly, without alerting their human counterparts. But it was too late. The humans had already sent a frantic message to the Nku, reporting an attack that could only have been carried out by one of their kind. The Nku responded with a simple message. 5 trackers were already en route to apprehend the fugitives. Ako and her wounded comrades found temporary refuge in an abandoned farmhouse on the outskirts of town. The smell of human melanin hung in the air, taunting them. Ako, weakened by her injury, was tended to by Dr. John Lewis, a local physician who had been dragged into the chaos by unfortunate circumstance. Despite the primal fear in her heart, John couldn't abandon the injured being before him. As he dressed Ako's wounds, something unexpected blossomed between them, a connection that transcended the boundaries of their worlds. The Nku trackers, however, were relentless. They would not stop until Ako and her followers were captured. The trackers believed that those who had tasted human melanin could never return to their society. They had to be terminated to prevent the truth from spreading, a truth that could unravel the very fabric of the Nku kingdom. The farmhouse was soon surrounded, tension thick in the air as Ako, John, and the remaining fugitives braced for the inevitable confrontation. Ako, her voice soft, urged John to leave, but John refused. As the trackers closed in, all hell broke loose. The fight was brutal, a clash of ancient strength and desperate resolve. Just as Ako was about to be struck down, John intervened, pleading for mercy. Ako hesitated, torn between her addiction to melanin and a fleeting bond with John. The leader of the trackers, seeing this weakness, condemned her. "You've tasted human melanin, Ako. There's no turning back." Realizing the depth of her addiction, Ako launched a final, desperate attack, but was swiftly overwhelmed. As Ako lay dying, the leader prepared to strike the final blow, but John stepped forward with a proverb about inner strength. In a surprising act of mercy, the leader spared John and the humans, for now. The trackers retreated, the war averted, but at a great cost. John, left in the aftermath, reflected on Ako, who had sought to destroy humanity, but was now defeated. As dawn broke, the Nku trackers returned to their kingdom with the bodies of Ako and her two accomplices, haunted by the knowledge that the addiction to melanin could never be fully extinguished. The fragile peace held, but the struggle was far from over.